Hey guys, Sincere here with whoissincere.com. Coming to you reading this Bernie Sanders article. Bernie Sanders is changing American politics, but he's not thinking big enough. What this article suggests is that Bernie Sanders, his campaign is going well. He's having small victories. Some people think that he's sheepdogging for Hillary Clinton, and so some people aren't supporting him for that reason. But other people believe that he's doing this, he's in it to win it, and that he's getting these small victories. But they're starting to wonder with his position on socialism. He has a lot of socialist ideas, so now that he's made it attractive, how does he plan to influence the rest of the Democratic Party to, look at things his way and to, get them to change policy in the future regarding some of the plans that he may have? Now, a big part of the problem is that this article is stating that he pretty much doesn't, he hasn't put out exactly how he plans to do that. He's put out a few ads here and there, against some of the other people that are also running, for the nomination and for presidency for 2016, but he hasn't put out any kind of deep ideas to the American public to say, well, hey, this is how I'm going to work on both sides of the aisle to get these people to come together to look at this, the way that we look at it. He has a great following, I'm partially a Bernie Sanders, follower. Partially, I'm not all the way there yet. I'll tell you why in a second. But he has a great following, but he's not putting out enough information to let people know, hey, this is how we're going to get it done. He's saying, some of what he wants to get done, but not exactly how he's going to get it done. Now, the reason why I'm a part-time Bernie Sanders follower as of right now is because I respect what he's saying about Black Lives Matter and civil rights and things like that. I respect that because it shows the willingness for someone to actually speak to the issues and not just go with Fox rhetoric of it's a terrorist organization and all this other kind of crazy mess. So here you have a presidential candidate who's able to actually speak, openly about the issues of America that we've been confronting for some time. We only need minor policy adjustments to fix some things, and then we need to do a lot of things within our communities to bring ourselves out of the position that we've been placed in. So we can't ask people that have placed us in a position to bring us out. We have to do it ourselves, and there's ways to do that. But we need a fair shot at doing that. So I believe that he's somebody that can open up that conversation, get a few key things changed, so that everybody could truly experience equal rights. Now, with that being said, I'm happy about that, but what I'm not really too happy about is I don't understand his stance and his position on world affairs. Our next president, we're going to need somebody that is very strong internationally. We have so much competition going on internationally right now. And it's not just with China. China has, always been a major competitor of the United States, even though they've been a great business partner. They've always been a major competitor because the battle of tomorrow is an economic battle. So, with that being said, China has always been there, but there's a lot of smaller economies that you wouldn't think of that are starting to grow. I mean, their GDP is starting to, actually, look a lot better than the United States when you compare ratios. So, with that being said, we have a world that's changing. It's changing rapidly, and I just wonder sometimes if Bernie Sanders is the man for that change, if he's going to be thinking big enough on an international scale. This article focuses, not really on whether he's going to be on the internet, how he's focusing his policy on an international scale, just how he plans on implementing it within his own party, with some of his ideas being, kind of like far right ideas. So, well, in relation to how his party thinks, but the American people are agreeing with him on so many things. So I'm interested to see what his international politics will be. We're going to need a president that understands the international policies of tomorrow. He's going to need to understand the things that Obama's put into place, like the TPP, and how we can work with those trade agreements or get rid of those trade agreements and make new ones that are going to benefit the American people and not enslave them instead and give them, terrible working conditions and, no competitive pay. So I'm interested in hearing what he has to say about that. Drop a comment below if you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, or if you support someone else, that's fine too. Drop a comment below. Give a like to the video, give a share to the video. Let's keep the conversation open and honest, because we still have a lot of options out there. And, we have to pick somebody. So, let's see how this thing really pans out. If you look at some of my other videos, you'll see who I think is going to actually be selected. But, it's still open. It's an open field. So we'll see what actually happens. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you visit my website, whoissincere.com. Follow me on Facebook, Who Is Sincere, and follow me on Twitter, Sincere Speaks. Thanks a lot, and stay tuned for more videos.